You guys had a good weekend. Did anybody in here grow up wanting to be a musician or a rock star? A few of you? Okay. So thank you for those of you who are honest. The other ones of you who didn't raise your hand, try to convince me that you didn't sing in front of your bathroom mirror at some point in your childhood and dream about performing in front of people. I know I didn't. All right, so I want to talk to you this morning about this rock star. His name is Dave, and this is a true story. All right, Dave was the lead singer of this band. His band sold 38 million records. Okay, you guys don't know what records are. They were the things before CDs. Okay, you guys don't even know what CDs are. Okay, so he sold his music 38 million times. His band has performed all over the world in front of millions and millions of people. Okay, and the band has made millions of dollars. And the band has been around for over 3 decades now, almost 30 or 40 years of doing what they do. And this band is considered to be one of the pioneers of a new genre of music, and they've influenced so many other bands over the course of those 30, 40 years that they have been in the business. And so Dave is the lead singer of this band, and Dave has received many accolades as being truly one of a kind at his position, right? And in a recent interview with Dave broke down in tears and was crying because he still sees himself as a failure. His band has sold 38 million records, and here's this guy who's in tears because he still sees himself as not enough. You see, because what you don't know about Dave Mustaine's story is that before he was the lead singer of the band Megadeth, he was a part of a different band. And he got kicked out of that band. And that band's name was Metallica. And whether or not you listen to classic rock music or not, I'll just tell you that Metallica is one of the most successful bands of all time. And so even though this guy Dave went on to start his own band, Megadeth, that was incredibly successful, because he's still comparing himself and his band to Metallica, he never sees himself as good enough. You guys, comparison is the thief of all joy. So many of you on that worksheet I had you fill out last week said that comparing yourself to others is something that's holding you back. And I agree, it's something that I struggle with too, and whether we consciously recognize it or not, all of us to some extent struggle with this. How many times have you gone through your Instagram feed and said, wow, they have it so great. Look at that awesome thing that they get to do this weekend, and I'm stuck in Argentina doing this. Look at how many likes they get on their post. Look at how many followers that person has. Right? We get sucked into this comparison trap. But what we fail to remember is that everyone has their own struggles. That person that you're looking up to who has 100,000 followers, what you don't recognize is that they struggle to sleep at night because they feel so alone. That Instagram model who you look at and say, wow, they look perfect. What you fail to know is that they struggle with an eating disorder. And so I'm asking you this morning to stop comparing yourself to other people. Start worrying about your potential. Start focusing on becoming a better version of yourself rather than comparing yourself to somebody else. You are uniquely you. There's no one else in the world who is you. And you were perfectly and meticulously created for a purpose. And so what you need to focus on is start pulling more of your gifts out of you and stepping into your potential than focusing on somebody else. I want to show you a picture this morning that you might have seen. It's from a couple of years ago. It was very popular at the time. Let's see if I can get this thing focused. Okay, so this picture was very popular a couple years ago during whatever Olympics this was, the Summer Olympics. I have no idea. I don't follow the Olympics very closely. Does anybody know who this is here on the bottom, Tim? Michael Phelps. So if you've been living under a rock and you don't know who Michael Phelps is, Michael Phelps has won more gold medals than anyone in Olympic history, I believe. That's correct, right? Yeah. This guy is one of a kind, right? And this picture is very famous and popular because, did anyone in here watch this race? A couple of you. Okay, so let me fill you in on the context of this race. I have no idea what this guy's name was, but I know that he was really good at swimming, right? And here's Michael Phelps, who's at the tail end of his prime, right? He's already won all these gold medals, and here he is competing again in these Olympic Games, and this guy, I believe, is younger than Michael Phelps. And he's just so incredible at what he does. And he is actually beating Michael Phelps in this race. He has the lead. He's beating Michael Phelps. And what does he do? He does this. He looks over to see where Michael's at. And when he looks over, he loses the lead. I don't know what happened to my picture. That's not important. He loses the lead when he looks over. Because he starts focusing on what Michael's doing. And what does Michael do? Keeps his head down and does his own thing, right? You have to stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane and focus on who you're becoming. Focus on getting better rather than comparing. And if you do that, if you stop comparing, if you stop looking over to see what everybody else is doing, you'll start stepping into your greatest potential. And that's all we can really ask for. Go win the day.